Hi everybody, Lori here from My Favorite Things. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got a colorful project to share with you using a new stamp and dynamic set that came out in the April release, and this is called Winged Wonders. Winged Wonders. Kind of hard to say, but there are 6 beautiful butterfly images in this Winged Wonders stamp set. I'm going to emboss all 6 of them in clear onto a panel of white cardstock. I'm actually using hammer mill. Any white cardstock will do. Whenever I get new stamps, I like to clean them with my stamp chamois. I like to give them a good rub down with an adhesive eraser, and that gets any residue that might be left on them from manufacturing. And I think it really makes a difference when you stamp. Gives you a much crisper, cleaner impression. Even though I'm embossing, I think it even makes them emboss better. I don't know. Just my preference. Okay, so I'm rubbing down this entire panel of white cardstock with my powder bag, my magic powder bag tool, and then I'm inking up all the butterflies with Versamark ink. And whenever I emboss, I like to stamp it twice to make it nice. I just find I get better embossed results if I stamp it twice. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm being superstitious. I don't know, but it seems to work. So I stamp all 6 twice. It's easy with the Misty here. And then I'm going to pour on some clear embossing powder. Now, a lot of people prefer to do emboss resist with white embossing powder. You can do whatever toots your flute. I like clear. You could do white. You could even emboss in silver or gold. Whatever color, just tickles your fancy. I've been doing clear for years when I do emboss resist, and I love it. And then I'm going to heat all of these up one time with the heat gun. Once your heat gun gets nice and hot, this goes really, really fast. And okay, so I'm going to go in with color using Distress Inks. I've got an array of rainbow colors. I like to slip in the rainbow whenever I can. But if you want to customize these, you could make them realistic, like orange and yellow and black. What's that? The monarch butterfly, if you want to do that. But there's no rules. So I've got Kitsch Flamingo here, and then in the center I do a little dab of picked raspberry for a pop of punch right in the center. Now this next butterfly I do the whole thing with that picked raspberry. And then I'll give it a little pop of punch with a little mini blender brush of candied apple, and that gives it that little punch of red. So every butterfly is going to be like two-toned. And once I do a little bit in the center, then I take that first original color, give it a once over to kind of smooth it out, and then I just go along my merry way. This one is Spice Marmalade. And then to add that little bit of darkness in the center, I pulled out a darker orange Distress Ink color, which is called Carved Pumpkin. And I like to, for this kind of job, it's nice to have a little mini blender brush or a detail little blender brush. You can do it with a regular. You can make it work. Whatever you got, use what you have. That's what I say. Okay, now we're moving on to the yellow. We got Squeeze Lemonade. How's everybody doing? Here in the Midwest, it is full-blown spring. A lot of rain. Soccer season is here. Watching the soccer games in the rain. The trees are turning green. It's a lovely time. But I will say, if you own a dog, it's a muddy time. It's a very muddy time, the spring, for dogs. But Hank, our dog, he is loving it, loving the mud, but I am not so much loving that part. And he is shedding like the dickens. We bought one of those brushes, the wire brushes, so you could brush the dog, try to get the hair out. And I don't know where it comes from. It just keeps coming. The more you brush, the more there is. And it's still all over your pants. I don't know what to say. Anywho, we're on that last butterfly, which is Blueprint Sketch. And then I add a little dab of purple right in the center with Wilted Violet. Okay, and that gives it that real nice. But now you can see I've got almost all the colors of the rainbow here. But I felt like I needed one more butterfly, which I'm going to do later. I'm going to add a purple butterfly. But then once I get the color, I like to take a dry paper towel and wipe over top. And that gets any excess ink that might be sitting on that clear embossing powder, and it really makes the white image pop through. So I took the coordinating dies, cut them all out. I went ahead and embossed another smaller butterfly in clear. I'm going over with that Wilted Violet so that we can have a purple butterfly. And then in the center, I add a little bit of picked raspberry to bring it back around full circle. But again, like I said, you could customize these butterflies. If you don't want to do just the pop of color in the center, you could make one side of the butterfly darker, like the right side darker, left side lighter. I just think that any bit of gradient really brings the excitement. So I took a white panel, I popped it up on a soft gray card base, and then now I'm arranging these butterflies. Are there a lot of them? Yes, there are. Debatable, maybe too many, but hey, sometimes you just need a lot of butterflies, and then sometimes you need less. It's just whatever tickles your fancy. So some of the butterflies are getting popped up. Some are getting glued and tucked under. So it's like a play on dimension, up and down, up and down. And if you notice, I try to put the adhesive only in the center, because later on, we're going to zhuzh it up till the cows come home. And you want to be able to lift up those wings, so you only want adhesive in the center of the butterfly if possible. And so I'm cocking them. Some are going right, some are going left. A lot of motion happening here. Of course, I went in rainbow order, and now I'm zhuzhing the wings. Zhuzh them like your life depended on it. And that gives it air. Hey, I know it might get flattened out in the envelope, but it's worth it for the photo. Am I right? Okay, now I'm going to use the same Winged Wonders stamp set for the sentiment. They had a couple of great ones here, but I'm just going to use one that said Sending Love, and I'm embossing that in white onto some dark gray cardstock. I thought about doing it, embossing it in white on black, but I thought, why not just go a little more subtle? So I did it white on charcoal gray, just living on the edge. And that's how you spice it up. That's how you spice your life up. Instead of embossing the sentiment in black, do it on charcoal gray. Okay, and then I popped that right in the center. A few little clear sequins tucked here and there for a little bling. And this rainbow butterfly card is finished. Little extra zhuzh, just because. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sending you some rainbow butterfly love today. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.